So long as you are willing to press continue, your game is never truly over. That's a quote from a friend. これで皆さんはじめまして私は寂しいしトゥーシドゥース詩の名前は気楽に押す私は一番になりたいすお願いすよろしく You know I like to keep it nice Try to rock and excite ya Now I invite ya To join in with all my stars in the star cipher Andromeda is not too far So this is what oh shit We're coming live from the blue side Playing sweet games or just singing What you wanna run? Battle anybody? I don't care what your name is eh? You wanna do what again? My Nihongo is not Jozu It's mostly a mata mata The shokai was pretty cool But my speaking is muda muda I'm weirder than Gouda Gouda But this will be the day If you're rocking with what I'm saying You're well on your way 寂しいし一日のものが足り歌はちょっと変全然終わり Hey, it's most likely you saw one side of me and didn't want to party. The azure that's in my heart is shining as it plays. The verses that I spark is clearing through the haze. The show's about to start. You're in for a treat. I'm mending what was broken. We ain't saying defeat. Are you listening? Continue. Are you listening? Hit continue. No matter how hard life gets, hit continue. Shine like the star you are. Hit continue. So I almost forgot to change scenes. It's been well, it hasn't been a while. It's been long enough. Yo, Mina. Sabishi shitenshi desu desu. Yoroshiku na. What am I doing? Ah, right. We're here. And yes, clearly as it says it is. A rest job. But we're going to do a quick run through of the grossly incandescent, ever-loving Valhalla Cyberpunk bartender action. As those that may have been at least tuning in to whenever I do stream the game, I should probably actually do the shotgun sessions because those are kind of comfy. But as those that do roll through the stream, they know I normally do like a shift every week. If I can help it, I do more than one if I'm really into it. And it normally goes up on YouTube. There's been a bit of a backlog of it, so it will show up every Friday around 7 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube channel, which is also at the bottom of my Twitch page, so in case you wanted to go there and look at heck, basically all the content I've ever made. With any of that and all of that in mind, I'm not gonna hold you guys up much longer. We're gonna switch over to the Blue Sun and, you know, mix drinks and talk shit. I think I lined it all up perfectly. Will it appear? Onegai? That's a whole ass mood. And as per custom, if you guys want to come through and talk, you're free to chat. You'll appear like right behind me and right above me. And if you need any help for any of the commands, then we have
we have an attack button to cut to help you guys out. Just let me know. With all that in mind, let's go ahead and hit start. Get this shift out of the way. Now, the main reason why this particular session is called Rush Job is because I have a tournament I should be attending soon in like an hour, give or take. Normally these sessions takes about an hour, give or take. So, gonna check my internet to see if I'm actually capable of, you know, streaming my run. I would like to do it, but if my internet is in disagreement, then it's going to be a struggle just properly connecting with others, and I wouldn't want to put anyone else through any more stress than what I can provide. I really need to find this song. It's just I need to find a song, and I also still need to do the best boss thing that I wanted to do. But aside from that, rent is due on the 30th. Make sure your account has the necessary $10,000 or you will be evicted. And I still ask to this day, $10,000 fucking dollars. Now, knowing me, knowing this run or session, I put money on it that I won't have the 10,000. I'll probably be short by like $5 because that's just how things roll. We'll see though. We'll see. We'll find out. But since I've already read the stuff prior, you know what it means. You know what time it is. We go right into it. We go to work. Thursday, December the 29th. To those who don't or aren't savvy to what I do during this series, though, I do poor voice acting. I just honestly try and go with the flow as best as I can, and if someone's looks remind me of a certain character archetype, then I just try my best. It'd probably be cool to grab some friends and everyone just do like a group voice session, but I don't necessarily, well, no, I don't necessarily have VTubing friends that do that. I have some friends who'd probably be stoked to schedule something up like that, and it'll be blatant that I'd be the one that's the fish out of water. But trying not to do the oh, hey Neon, you doing all right? And also, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry that I wasn't live to see it. But yeah, I'm gonna try and run through this week as quick as I can. Or day. It's a killer game. It's one of my faves. Thank you. I ended up discovering it around time it came out, but sat on the fence of buying it because I was too broke to buy it, basically. And then the English version of Girls Frontline, it had a crossover with this game, and it told me, you know what, you should get Valhalla, you should play it. So since streaming, I've just been streaming every night that I could, and that's basically why we're here. And in case you slightly missed me a couple of seconds ago, yeah, it's gonna be bad voice acting for me the whole way through. And I also have a fighting game tournament that I have to attend in like an hour. So I'm also testing my internet connection for that. A mobile game crossover. Yeah, it's... I wouldn't take it as too strange, as both of the game's timeline did have to deal with basically apocalyptic times. I guess the setting of Girls Frontline would make it pretty weird. But I would still recommend playing the game. Girls Frontline is pretty nice. And if you're into like very depressing storylines, that's one of the things for you. I enjoy voice acting visual novels too. I'm gonna pour myself a drink and vibe with you then. Yo, I feel it. Now, in all irony, I don't drink, but I do have water on the side, so I'll be drinking too. With that in mind, since this is going to be a bit of a rush job, I'm gonna try my best to keep focused. But you know, of course, I'm gonna break. I will break for y'all. Oh gosh. Okay. But yeah, man, take your time, take a seat, and watch as I end up mixing drinks and talk shit. Good evening. Hey. Okay, so we got almost everything, but we're missing a couple of things for Saturday. And so I designate you, Gillian Applegate, the official guy who goes to buy the rest of the stuff. Applegate? I have no idea who that is. Why me? I could send Jill, but I wouldn't dare send the lady by herself. I could go with her, but I believe the bar should have at least 2 people in the vicinity at all times. You're not gonna say anything, Jill? If it means not being delivery girl, I'm happy to fake helplessness. Fine. Give me that list. I'll be back sometime. Something tells me you're planning something, boss. Why give you that impression? Call it a gut feeling. Did you know Gil has a crush? What? A client of his. A girl that owns a bazaar. She's been coming on to him for ages and he only just started opening up. But he's taking steps backward and I'm not gonna let him. He's opening up for fuck's sake. And so the errands will take him to the bazaar, I take it. That's right. Huh. Alright then. To the office I go. As for me... Alright. Now normally, every time I do a shift, every time we do a sesh, I shuffle the playlists a little bit. I think last session I did the top 2 of every number that I could possibly do until it was full. And it was from 12 to 1. So now it's going to be 1 to 12, bottom 2 of every number. And if it ain't there, then we keep on moving. Okay. Alright. Jukebox shuffled. Now, with all that in mind and all that set for us, I'm gonna take a quick yawn. Oh gosh. That one almost escaped me. That was bad. But I don't have bags under my eyes. It's time to mix drinks and change lives. Yo, for crush. Huh. This place. Great. Oh, if it isn't... Okay, great. It's supposed to be a rush job, and I immediately changes to a blush job. It's her. It's her again. It's her again. Give me a second. Let me regain my composure. This is an every time thing. I apologize ahead of time. Stand up. Okay, I think I got it. Hey now, keep it together. No. Miki and Anna are 2 of my favorite characters so far. So, Miki makes me crumble like this. Hey Jill, sorry, but is there anywhere I can hide? There's an unpleasant guy on my trail. Boss, stalked woman incoming. The door is open. Go ahead, door to the left. Thanks. Hello there! Oh, hi there! The other one. That's the bathroom. Wait, what's the dog doing in the bathroom? Now, where is she? Oh, the hell, perfect. Hey kid, I'll have the usual. Right. Huh, you remembered me after 2 weeks. Mr. Donovan came in for a beer, a big beer. And pictures of Spider-Man. This is important. If you don't add those pictures of Spider-Man, then what's the fucking point? Another aldehyde, 2 bronson extracts, 1 powder delta, 2 flannegride, and 4 comatride. All mix, pearl, mix. Put it in the cup. I almost confused myself. I swear my composure is at 75% again. Here. That seems right. The paper's been a mess lately. You'd think with all that's happening, they'd stay and do more reports. When they're all asking for vacations, I can't afford to be understaffed. So I come up with some sort of reward for whoever produces the most reports. I see no difference in my feed, though. Oh, he really is just Black J. Jonah Jameson, I suppose. It's the only thing that came to mind that made sense to me. My knowledge in a lot of media and pop culture is actually a bit distant. It fits the whole I'm from Andromeda perspective as well. But Spider-Man is arguably my favorite Marvel superhero. So it helps that I have something to work with. Mr. Donovan, I don't mean to sound rude, but you do know the infamy of the augmented eye with the general public, right? A shitty page that will over-sensationalize anything and report useless things. Of course I know. Then why not try to rectify that image? To put it simply, I'm being clutched by the balls in an unpleasant way. Zaibatsu Corps and company have an eye on every publication they haven't bought yet. Report on them once and they'll find something to find you with. Twice and you will find your resources severely cut. Anything beyond that, then... oh god, I went cat for a second. Anything beyond that, in best case scenarios, they'll buy the damn operation and keep it quiet. I know there are more newsworthy things than whatever it is the lackeys picked out that week. But if I overstep, my ass is on the line. Huh. Glad to see this hellhole still in one piece. The BTC has been going apeshit closing bars lately. Oh yeah, that. Yesterday they closed one that served as a key part of a drug trafficking ring. And last week they closed 3 small bars that served the illegal chicken restaurants. Chicken restaurant? Huh. Not to mention there are like 100 people with BTC certificates but never used them. Instead, they keep those credentials around to stop police from raiding their homes or warehouses. I don't know about you, but it's obvious to me that some restructuring will begin at the BTC after this whole thing. Man, shit ran deeper than I thought. And no news outlet talks about that. Alright kid, let's try Moonblast now. Come again? Hey, even I have to break the routine from time to time. Yeah, you know what, that's understandable. You can't get the same thing every time. I mean, you can. That's like some folks going to their favorite fast food restaurant and they order the same cheap, affordable meal every time. And it's like they begin to know you by name. And when they begin to know you by name, as soon as you appeared, it's like, yo, I already got it set up for you. Here's your total. Just have a good time. Thank you for coming. If it sounds a little too familiar, or if it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, that has happened to me before. All on the rocks and blended. Mix, swirl, mix, put it in the cup. Now I like the way the Moonblast looks. I still kind of prefer that cup with the blue hue, and I still don't remember exactly what that drink is, but Moonblast is kind of sitting there on top of... That does beg the question. I probably have asked this maybe several times. What's your favorite looking drink on this game? Just out of curiosity. And feel free to answer if you can, or if you can't think of one, that's all good too. Here. Now, let's see what the ruckus is about. So what brought you here? Oh, right. Didn't you see a little coming in here? Blue hair, big tits. She's the one for an encore concert coming up. Not really. She jumped to the roof then. What? Why were you looking for her? Did you want an interview? Not really. Just hitting on her. Hey, I said hitting on her, not hitting her. Stop glaring. Why, though? Are you that bored? Don't you have, like, family or something? Have you seen that girl? Hot ass tits. Also, hot ass and tits. Whoa, wait. Have you seen that girl? Hot ass tits. Also, hot ass in tits. I'm suffering the weirdest I'm suffering. What the fuck are you suffering? I'm suffering the weirdest combo of being hard as fuck and curious as shit right now. I want to know just how detailed those king class CH-1A models are personally. And so you followed her. I've yet to meet a woman that can resist the charms of Donovan D. Dawson. You're in front of one, and I'm guessing you have quite the selective memory. Like I said, don't you have a family or something? The Brandtini is probably my wood drink in the list. Fair enough. If there was something for me that would fall under would drink out of the serving list, it'd have to be one of the non-alcoholic drinks. I'd have to look through the lists one more time to see what's what. But if anything, I'd go for something sweet. God, Donovan is awful. Oh, wife, but that woman cheats on me as much as I cheat on her. In fact, I'm pretty convinced she gets off on the thought of me cheating on her. You know, there are some relationships that actually do that, and it's actually quite comfortable with the notion of that. I'm not with it, but I know it exists. It's just, what? So that Lilum isn't here, huh? I'll have to find a busty enough replacement tonight or I'll explode. Hey, after you're done glaring, please serve me a pile driver. Right. Let's just give him a pile driver. Literally. What? Fuck it, make it double. Just make it double. Am I being waited by Waffle? The cat himself? Yo Waffle? The cat themselves? Blue drink and its called glass is a blue fairy, which is non-alcoholic. That's probably why I like it so much. I appreciate it. No, seriously, thank you for the raid. Let me do a quick shout out for you, and in the meantime, give everyone a quick lowdown as to what's going on. This is your Lonely Seraph from far away. I'm Kirakunios, Seraph from Andromeda. I tend to do a lot of singing, rapping, and variety gameplay. That is definitely two E's in that name now. But nonetheless, what I'm doing right now, going through a visual novel that I've been meaning to play for years. And I'm also trying to do it as quick as I can because I totally have a fighting game tournament that I'll need to attend in an hour. Poor time management? Maybe. But at the same time, I'm also testing the connection to see if I can do a streaming, if I can actually stream my run, so that I can have footage for myself and footage for others in case anyone wants to say I'm doing anything nefarious. Shouldn't be, but it be that way sometimes. With that in mind, I'm currently making a drink for a man. And the man was stalking, and yeah, I guess it's basically, it's definitely stalking what is arguably my favorite character in the game. So I get to see her again. That's nice. This asshole is, he's basically the Black J. Jonah Jameson, except worse. Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action. I would highly recommend that you pick up the game, play it from day one, or in fact even play like the prelude, the pre-sequel. They have some stuff before the main story that you can go through, and I highly recommend going through that because I didn't, and I'm suffering low key. But enough of the rambling. I'm gonna keep things going. I'm gonna serve this man a massive fucking pile driver because he kind of deserves it. Here. Alright. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I poorly voice act all of the characters. So, if you guys do enjoy this, and you want to see all of the previous episodes, they are up on my YouTube channel. They go up every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's a hoot. Lots of crazy things have happened, and crazier things have happened. Okay, with that aside, how was the Just Chatting stream, Waffle? Was everything alright? Or was everything alright? Goodness me. Well, since you're not here, I have no reason to stay. Maybe I'll find someone that looks a bit like her. The guy left. Oh. God, doing Donovan's voice killed my voice. I'm not sure if I can get the pitch right anymore. We were playing a game with someone. What game were you playing? Oh, alright. Thanks for sheltering me, Dana. Hope your sister likes the video. No, thank you. Seems you had a hearty talk. Your boss is such a fun person. Her sister is a fan of mine, so I recorded a small video for her and took a couple of photos. How nice of you. It's nothing, really, and she did hide me, so it's the least I could do. But, well, we're all ready. Mind giving me something sweet? Sure. Miss Idol wants something sweet. Because she's a sweetheart, I mean... Pummel party. You guys are absolutely beating the pain out of each other. Piano Woman is something sweet, and that is 320. I need to keep in mind that I need to have that 10k for the, oh my gosh, the stupid amount of money for rent. Why was it $10,000 for rent? Okay, I'm calm. I'm calm. I'm okay, I promise. Yeah, I think the Piano Woman's gonna be the highest sweet drink. No, wait, it always has to be aged, miss. And Taiki Rin? I feel like I've heard of that name before. But unfortunately, it's a blur. Everything's a bit of a blur for me. I do apologize about that, Waffle. But so long as you had a good time playing Pummel Party with them, I would say that's pretty cool beans, you know? Seriously. Doing Donovan voice, whenever I have to go for that type of gruff demeanor, it really hits me in the back of the throat. And it's just like, just trying to shift around is not fun stuff. The Piano Woman looks quite charming, or it looks really cute. In terms of like drinks that I think I like the look of the most, that may just be the one for me. But yeah. Blue Fairy would probably be the most likely I'd drink since it is non-alcoholic, as you say, Nia. They're also in V Serenity. That's cool. Friendly reminder, Waffle, I'm not a member of V Serenity. All of my friends are. I never joined. In fact, if I remember correctly, I was like, hey, there's this group called V Serenity. Here. It's like, aren't you gonna join? I'll think about it. And it never happened. So, those the breaks. I'm not part of any group at all. So, it's more of just an unsigned guy from all the way from outer space. And since this is kind of not the full-time thing, you know, I'd recommend it partly, but it's up to you. I feel you. Joining a group seems interesting, but I feel like what I look to do and what I like to do, I guess it just doesn't align too much with V-Serenity. I mean, yeah, they're a really big community, and it's a lot of positivity there, and I love the name. I love the name, like, through and through, but there's also, you know, I have to understandably want to be able to join the group and support it properly. Kind of like how I loosely do as one of the regular spectators for the VFGC. Some people in there I feel you need to find just clicks. I can't fully process what you said. Some people in there I feel you need to find just clicks. I mean, I did technically meet Cyan and Kotaru and learn about V-Serenity through them. Let me serve this drink. Oh, clicks! Clicks! Okay. I got you. Well, I mean, it's a very big group. Of course there'll be subsections of those. It just kinda happens, unfortunately. Here. Thanks! So, do you know why Donovan was following you? I don't, but I wasn't in a mood to deal with him. His questions were a bit over the line last time, too. Not the worst I've dealt with, but I just didn't want to humor him. I see. Seems like he was just trying to come on to you. You don't say. Well, not like he'd have a chance anyways. I'm not into older guys, and I'm already committed to a relationship. Wait, you are? Wait, she is? It's not common knowledge, and the ones that hear it try to dismiss it as rumors, but I've been in a relationship with my producer for a while now. Really? We were both single, and that kind of stuff is bound to happen when you spend so much time together. But it all started when he read an entry I made in my blog about wanting to experience love and the like. I remember that blog entry. I related to that heavily. I still relate to it to this day. Yes, I guess that means on the low that I'm available, but what can you do? He offered to help me with that, and after he read it, and I thought, sure, why not? I already knew him well enough. It wouldn't hurt to try. Oh, nice. He's a stick in the mud where planning is due, but he's a sweetheart otherwise. I see. Hey, can you really walk so calmly? These streets aren't exactly safe. Really? I haven't faced any issues lately. Sure, they've tried to mug me once or twice, but it's no big deal. I got to go, though. I gotta go to bed, though. I have work in the morning at 8. So I hope you have a good rest of the stream. Bye-bye. Alright, Waffle. You know, I appreciate you for the raid, and thank you for coming through. I'm not sure if I have much else to say about that. Rest well. Remember that you're always welcome here for another verse. Oh, right. I don't have hand tracking. You can't see me wave. Ha. Ha ha. Ha. No big deal. Every time someone tries to mug me, somebody pops out of somewhere and stops it. Oh yeah, she has a bunch of ninjas watching over her. Makes me feel like I'm always protected. Those are some hardcore stalkers. I guess the fact that she ran away from Donovan, even after all that, says something. Hey, this will sound familiar, but do you have anything like tea? Let me see. Something tea-like. If I remember correctly. Something bitter, but girly is fine too. Don't we have like a... No. Something tea-like. Something tea-like. You know, I was thinking Sunshine Cloud. I didn't expect that to kind of fall into place. Tastes like old chocolate milk with its good smell intact. Some say it tastes like caramel too. I mean, why not give them the mix of both? And it's optional with Quattromine, so you don't have to get them slizzard for it either. Have it all on the rocks and blend it. Mix, mix, swirl, mix, put it in the cup. Honestly, if someone sung that to me, I'd probably feel a bit off-put. But it sounds fun, so I like it. Shouts to all the bartender VTubers out there. Y'all the real ones. Big yawn. We're back at it. Here. Yeah. Yeah, this works. Hey. You're a King Class CH-1A, right? Wait, what track is this? Nighttime Maneuvers. A banger. That I am. May I ask you something about your model? Sure. Are there any differences between you and a DFC-72? We both serve the same purpose, but DFC-72s have the port on their heads, which makes them more versatile. My line lacks that or the resilience of the DT-01Ds, but we're a tad more polished elsewhere. More specifically, our voice simulators are more advanced and our movements are smoother. A trade-off of functionality and power for appearance, you could say. Ah, I see. So, anything new for this concert? Well, it is an encore. We're trying to make it the same for those that couldn't go to the first one. But we always try to spice it up. Something, like maybe with a surprise song or something. Goodness, the feeling of burping really was not the homie right now. There was this one time I sang a cover of a song by B-Link. Of course, in return, they sang Your Love is a Drug. Ah. So you know the B-Link girls? Really nice kids. You'd be surprised how different from their on-stage personas they are. Really? Suzu, for example, can be really childish at times. She also laughs a lot. And loudly at that. Meanwhile, Aina is the party girl through and through. If they're not on tour, she spends her time partying like crazy. Huh. Hard to believe. I mean, their image is that of stoic girls with little expression. Almost like living Victorian dolls or something. Well, they wanted to pop out in the public. They once told me, if we want people to notice us, we have to break the cutesy idol concept. And so they took the opposite route by becoming cool beauties with melancholic songs. I wouldn't say they went the opposite way. The opposite of cutesy idols would be unkept, tone-deaf girls spewing vitriol and hate. True, I guess. Well, I gotta go, but let's have a sparkle star first. Alright. A sparkle star for Miss Idol. Hey look, a star for the star. A star serving a star while she drinks a star. Hey. Let's go ahead and serve that. Spark Star. You know, my channel point rewards are called Sparks. I call you guys all my stars, and I am a star as well. I may consider myself as Andromeda's blue sun, and that can have many multiple meanings. The primary meaning for that particular sun thing is my ability of getting along with everyone. Not so much in a self-centered sense of everything revolves around me, but a lot of chain reactions or events can occur if I do know someone. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but it's one of those few things about me that I've realized it's not unique in the slightest, but it's just something that's just, I feel like it's interesting. But what I'm doing the roundabout is going on a strange tangent of just talking about how Spark Star is kind of similar to a lot of things that's on this page. But enough of that. Let me give her one for the road. Sparkling! Well, It's always a pleasure, Jill. Please come again. Will do. Oh, the handsome bartender. Nice to see you. Boss, Gil's back. I'll take my break. Alright. And that's half a shift. And we're frick. We are 42 minutes in, but we're still making great time. It doesn't look like they've called for check-in for the tournament just yet. And in the midst of this intermission, I would have figured to have had another question in mind, but the whole favorite drink thing, well, of course that was the one that I had in the chamber already. I would say that for a good random question would be, what's a random moment that has made you on the uncomfortable side? And I mean, feel free to not share it, of course, because I wouldn't want anyone to relive like any type of traumatic moment. But a strange moment that made me go is generally nowadays, I know the type of social climate that we're in. We shouldn't be using certain terms. Even today, me as a black man, I try to avoid utilizing the N-word as much as possible. There are times that it still comes out, and there are times where I will say it with friends, or say it just in a casual setting. If you catch me off stream or outside of streams, and if I'm even slightly frustrated or annoyed at something or someone, or if I find something like extremely funny, then part of me kind of scales back to where I will drop the term. I've hung around people back in the day, and this will be most likely damning for like some people, but I'm very easygoing. It's in my name. Kiraku means easygoing. I'm someone who didn't care too much about the use of the N-word, but I understood the impact, the weight, and the implication. And the main thing that I try to advocate for it is, look, I'm not the one that's going to stop you from thinking it's okay to throw around this word and everything. I will check you and let you know, hey, maybe don't do that. But if you are going to keep doing it, don't look at me like I'm that one. Oh, I have black friends. No, don't look at me like that. I'm not that black friend to save you. In fact, I told you, if you use that term and they want to fold you, I'm not your scapegoat. That's not going to happen. When you use that term, just because I say I'm okay with it, does not mean I am comfortable with you doing it. It just means I have a tolerance to not fold you like an omelet. But other folks, if they're going to take you out the game, it's going to be a conversation between you and God, because they're going to make you see it. And those are some of the strange moments where I'll go, because, using the N-word is a very delicate thing, especially for us fellow black folk. Using the F word is more globally, more widely a taboo issue. I don't use that so much, but if you do check my archives, yeah, I've seen where I've been around, like during the shock value YouTube times, where that word was more commonly used. You will see that I've been around friends that do use it. And while memory doesn't serve me too correctly, I bet that I've said it a couple of times in my streams before. I've thought about those moments and really had to look into the implications and look into the word itself. It's not cool. I greatly recommend against it, and I wouldn't put that on anybody to continue using such language, such slurs. If people deem that as a slur, erase it from your vocabulary, But in the same breath, as I'm still practicing removing the N-word from my own vocabulary, it's gonna come out sometimes. And it's a lot of work to be the best version of yourself. And anyone that genuinely tells me, or at least shows me that they're trying, I try my best to show them love, because there's a lot of people that they do one thing wrong and it will be immediately condemned or just completely cut off, and that's not a good feeling. I've went on too long. I'm going to continue. For those that have sat around during this moment, I tend to have some of these tangents, and it's usually while playing Valhalla, and sometimes other games. Depends on if the topic comes up that way. With that in mind, it is now safe to keep playing. By the way, I'm only grossly incandescent while I stream this game. I'll be normal colored once the tournament goes up. Note to self. Note to self. Why all for that, Doyle? Alright then. Gil, you're in my spot. Please. Oh, sorry. Also, you're cleaning one of Boss's chicken buckets. Did Boss ask you to do that? If I told you she did, would you believe me? Without a doubt. Let's go with that then. Right. Greetings. Now, I'm still not entirely set on what, who Stella would remind anyone else of. The vibe that I get from her with the red hair, the high class status, the adorable everything, but still you tell she came from money. I immediately think Mitsuru Kirija from Persona 3 and Persona 4 Arena. I mainly think the Persona 4 Arena version, obviously. Catsuit, badassery, the head bitch in charge. Miss Moneybag, and you know she a baddie. So I tried to put some energy into that. I'm not so good at being, rich dummy mommy, but whatever. Greetings. Ah, Stella. What can I get you? I'll go with a Bleeding Jane today. A Bleeding Jane for Stella. Hey, can I make that a big one? Can I? Yeah, I can. I'll blend it. Mix, mix, swirl, mix, put it in the cup. Alright, a big Bleeding Jane. Here you go. Thank you. What brought you here today? Waiting for Say? I came by myself, actually. I was in the area and stopped to say hi. Oh. It's pretty interesting, though. When I first saw you, I doubted you'd ever come here again. Well, this place is comfortable, I must admit. So quiet and secluded. It's also clean. Really clean. Gil is the one you can know that to. The guy takes pride in how clean he keeps things around here. If you ever need cleaning staff, he's a nice pick. Really? He's a bit out of it today, though. I see. Hey Jill, have you heard of the new gold rush in the city? Gold rush? Everyone is paying small fortunes to get their hands on pieces of white knight suits. I think I've heard or read something about that, but I'm having doubts, so probably not. In any case, how is it a gold rush? Well, the tech behind the suits were always safely guarded, but after the events at the bank... After the events at the bank, the suits were remotely shut down, bricking many of them in the process. Many units dropped their armor right there and fled when the lynchings went on. Any white knights still stuck in their suit had to take the armor off manually to run away. It all happened in the middle of the lynchings, so they'd be sitting ducks if they didn't. Some weren't that lucky. They got beaten up while they weren't able to move. So, between the suits becoming glorified paperweights, many white knights going on the run, there ended up being a lot of junk lying around. But in the whole scientific community is rejoicing. They're on a race to reverse engineer the suits and take as much technology as possible from them. And of course, even single pieces of the armor fetch a high price these days. Can anyone see any profit from that research to justify those expenses? It's new tech. A whole field ripe with patents just open for many. So I'd say yes. Huh. I don't know what's going on this session, but I'm starting to get words jumbled up. It's worrying. I mean, the BTC is literally a conglomerate built upon patents and trademarks. I can see now. I can see how. See? You know what? I'm gonna take a quick breath, get another drink. I think I've been speaking too much, y'all. Okay. There is one weird case though. There's this guy named Jack. He's the captain of a very unique Blitzkrieg Corps unit. Unique? The guy had a really small unit. It's 5 people, including himself. The aesthetics of his unit's armor was heavily modded to the point that they looked like a squad of Henshin heroes. And what? Stella. They looked really gaudy. But it turned out that the guy was actually broke through the software and disabled the remote switch. He has one of the few, if not the only suits of armor with the OS intact. To say they're among the most wanted people would be an understatement. You know a lot about this. It's interesting. The amount of things you hear when dealing with drunk people of all kinds in the same place. It also helps to put on a front that makes people lower their guard. That should sound familiar to you. True. Wait. Here's a freebie. A fun fact. The failsafe was originally going to involve the armor blowing up and leaving no traces, but regulations and laws didn't allow that kind of technology near civilians. I guess even Zaibatsu Corps has its limits, huh? People love to demonize Zaibatsu Corps because, let's face it, they're far from innocent. But they're not evil overlords, they're just greedy. Just a big corporation. They just so happen to have control over what tantamounts to a city-state. But corporations will naturally resort to draconian methods. I've heard horror stories from people outside the cities about anything about trying to use product placement. If you so much as hold a bottle the wrong way or get in the way of a logo, you would be in for lots of trouble. And let's not start with theme parks or the like. Those are dystopias of their own. Then again, most of the demonization is due to Quincy being such a clown. He has no power anyways. He's just a front that whatever council behind Zaibatsu Corps chose. He makes a fool of himself and the attention is taken away from whatever it is that Zaibatsu Corps is actually doing. Yeah. So what you're saying is that Glitch City is basically a huge theme park? I've called the White Knights glorified mall security in the past. So yeah. Huh. No. Seriously. In what? Can I get a Brandtini here, please? Sure. She's really avoiding the fact that she knows about Henshin heroes. You see, old cat boomer here, knowing about Kamen Rider. Now, random fun fact that you would unfortunately not be able to see on this 3D model. I'm supposed to have on 2 belts. I don't know how to make belts in VRoid Studio. So maybe on the day that I actually make the 2D model, you guys can see them. But one is just an extra belt for added flair because anime. And you know what they say about main characters with belts. But the primary belt, the one that would look most like a buckle, I would say, would have a main buckle up front. Would signify a bit of a yin and yang, and I have done a rough drawing of it, and it may be found on my Twitter page on my reference, on my pin post with all my references. But basically, it would be a signal of a yin yang, but the shape of it and the overall inspiration of it actually comes from Kamen Rider Agito. If you were to look at both the belt and the belt that I've drawn up, you would kind of see the similarities to it. So that basically would go without saying that my favorite Kamen Rider is Agito. And, you know, we are all Agito. Random story aside, let me make sure this is aged, and make sure this is mixed. And let's get Stella that Brandini, okay? Here. Thanks. So I take it you're in a good mood today? Does it show? A bit. Yeah, well, I managed to nab a couple of tickets for the Kiramiki concert. Nice. Oh, right. As it turns out, she was just here. Again? Sorry. The look of surprise on her face, the excitement, that is a joy. Again? Can't believe I just missed her. I was surprised too. I was more surprised she remembered my name though. And, like last time, she was quite the graceful client. Man, so the rumors about her being really nice in person were actually true? Amazing. Magnifique. Brilliant. I mean, you always want the famous people to be nice in real life. But having such backing to that claim, to hear that she's so nice to everyone, it's nice to hear, you know? In fact, Minnie thinks that's what made her so famous so quickly. How she's down to earth and totally accessible, making her someone everyone wants to root for. Ah, I see. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't want to feel like you're supporting crappy people. Relatable content! Although, to be honest, I've never put much thought into that one. Hell, half the time I have no idea who made what I use, nor do I care much. Being a nice person will take you far, though. My daddy always insisted that being ruthless in the boardroom doesn't mean being an ass. And he has actually managed to get certain contracts over other more powerful people. All thanks to being a nice guy overall. Sounds like good advice. But more importantly, Daddy? Do you really believe me saying she was just here that easily? You're not the kind to lie about stuff like that, so sure. Thanks, I guess. That said, can you go to the concert so easily? What about security and the like? My dad always has a unit keeping an eye on me from a distance, and you'd be surprised at how easily I can disguise myself with just a different hairdo and a cap. I see. I wonder if I could get in the disabled line with Sei in her wombs. Although, she'll probably nag me about how she doesn't need it and we shouldn't abuse that. Hey, can you get me a classic drink? Sure. She wants a classic drink. You know, it kind of makes me wonder, why don't people know about Classic Man anymore? I don't hear that song much. It's kind of crazy. Huh, so a beer and a Billie Jean is the exact same. Get her a beer. In fact, get her a big beer. Now, in the Girls Frontline crossover for Valhalla, I deal with the misfortune of not being able to get Say nor Stella in time. The event ran, like, I ran out of time to do the event, and my parties just wasn't powerful enough to really power through anything. And still makes me sad to today, because I kind of needed some sniper units. Alright, let's go to this big bear. Here you go. Thank you. Do you have many servants around the house, Stella? I do, but they've been with us for so long, they're pretty much family. My dad always said that if you earn someone's trust, they'll gleefully work for you, and everyone wins. You know, there's nothing better than family. We even had a young gardener that left to study engineering, and he actually came back. He still comes by every weekend to tend the plants. Man, that sounds nice. Let me know if you're ever in need of a job. I might find you something. Thanks for the offer. Wait. I just realized something off with the whole tech gold rush story. What could it be? Wouldn't all that tech be patented anyways? I get trying to crack it in the first place, but that would be true if the tech was patented in the first place. It isn't? Daibatsu have been so paranoid about making the White Knights untouchable that they never patented anything. A patent would be in a database that someone could hack and retrieve valuable info from. Not to mention they've been using tech from other companies without any authorization, and no patent registry in their right mind would approve of that global shutdown signal, let alone how it immobilized everyone still inside of those suits. So the ones that were upholding the law did so using suits that are all by all means illegal? The irony runs deep, wouldn't you say? Why do it though? When you have so much money, you start thinking you can screw around with the rules. Is that... That's a... Screw the rules, I have money. That's a Seto Kaiba reference. All that power makes you think you're above every law there is. And this city is what happens when those with money start making the rules. I'm curious though. Have you ever covered up any fuck-ups by using money? I think we've all done things we're not too proud of at some point of our lives. Well, Jill, I gotta go. It's always a pleasure. Please come again. Alma. It's Alma. No hello? You're pretty insistent on that one, aren't you? It's basic courtesy. Something I will fight to uphold. First the greeting stop, then saying please and thanks stops. Before you know it, boom, total anarchy. You're exaggerating. I'm not. In fact, I'll go through that door again, and I expect you to properly greet me this time. Fine. Hello, Jill. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary. Over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this and nothing more." You overdid it. You totally overdid it," quoth the bartender. I did not. "So you like poetry?" I had a phase. Can I get you something? Let's start with a big cobalt velvet. I think I'm using Anna voice for Alma right now. I was trying to go for more, hey, what a wonderful kind of day type voice, but I don't think my head is going to properly roll with it. So, let's get this cobalt velvet. Here. Sure. Let's go with this. I didn't get her a Cobalt Velvet? I thought she asked for a Cobalt Velvet. I don't think I'm in the headspace. Huh. I think I blew my perfect run. There's a chance I may have to rerun this, because I know that little bit of extra is going to be what gets me enough for the rent. Oh yeah, there's something I've been wondering for about a while. Does the name Shadow Master 69's Chronicles ring any bells? Wow, you went pale. No, the name doesn't ring any bells. May 22nd, today my daily card readings told me that I'd meet great change thanks to an old man. My biology teacher told me that I had been picked for an inter-school contest for my latest essay. I just knew a scientific theory on the idea of auras was as revolutionary as I thought. Soon I'll bring the world into occult science singularity. Later entries don't seem to have gone that well, though. Mentions of being laughed at, being lectured on why the essay was wrong. Jill? I made sure to delete that blog. No evidence should be left! I can think of at least 6 different sources off the top of my head that have all that stuff archived. Why? Sheesh, relax. It's not that bad. What do you mean it's not that bad? Don't you realize how embarrassing it all is? We've all been young, Jill. Relax. It's not like you're still like that nowadays. That would have been embarrassing. You're not still like that, right? Gods no, I gave up on the whole occult stuff. It's just that remembering all that stuff is... Hell no. I like the way you looked. All dressed in black, with the wear accessory popping out thanks to the colors. I mean, at least you had the decency to use makeup and take care of yourself. So you have a pick. Oh god, you have a fucking pick. Why do you do this to me? Why do you dig out the sins of my past? I was bored. Last Friday I had to take my mind off the whole Diana thing, so I ran a small background check on you. Simple stuff, just checking past internet activity. Please don't run background checks like that. I just used the search engine, you know. I didn't request documents or anything. What led you to the page? You do realize that your main mail account everywhere is still the one you used back then, right? Like I said, relax. You were obsessed with occultism. I wanted to kiss all the boys. Alright, it's nighttime. And I almost accomplished that in middle school, which still sort of haunts me today. Never underestimate the lengths old classmates will go to track you down. Especially if they think you're still the girl that kissed them for fun and they're lonely to boot. We all have things we're not too proud of as adults. Now I know how criminals feel when evidence is used against them. I have to ask though, why the 69? It was supposed to be 6'9", not 69. Like in reference to both the lovers and the hermit? You know? Huh. Shoutouts to Arcanas. Now, when I've done Arcana tests before, I don't talk about it much. But I guess I do whenever I reference Persona. But out of 3 very long, extensive tests that I've ever taken, I've gotten... The results that have come back to me have been number 13, and I believe it's number 0. It's number 0 or number 1. But the results that I've gotten, Deaf and the Fool. And it's interesting. But I'm pretty sure my ideals have changed, or ideals in that matter. They've changed a bit to where if I were to take those same tests now, I'd probably end up with a different number, a different arcana. But I still feel a kinship with Death. And I know that sounds weird, but hear me out. It's on the misunderstood side. And growing up I've always been rather misunderstood. And through that, it turned into anger that caused me to lash out at others. It was never a loud anger unless it came to a head. It was mostly silent. But a lot of inward looking has definitely changed me way far from what it was. But anyway, I have about 9 minutes, so let's keep this going. I was convinced it meant wise choices. Jill? There's nobody that would read that as 6'9". I was 12 at the time. Even at 12, I fucking knew what 69 was. Just how innocent you were back then. You have no idea. Well, let's sweeten up things a bit. I'll have a sugar rush. Sure. A sugar rush. Alright. 2 Ally. 1 Powder Delta. All mix. Get her that sugar rush. This is the thing. Say, Alma? Speaking of the past, what was your last long-term relationship like? Oh boy. That's sudden. You dug through my past, I've earned the right to dig through yours. Fine. Long-lasting relationships, huh? Romantic ones, I'm guessing. Yep. Well, I've had about 4 boyfriends who I describe as such, that I've introduced to my family and all. The first one was in high school. I broke up with him because he cheated on me. I remember the other girl trying to pick a fight and me just saying, keep the fucker. The second one was during my freshman year. I broke up with him after he thought it'd be funny to punch me in the arm. He starts with a friendly hit and before you know it. Anyways, the other guy I met shortly after I dropped out. He was interested in marriage, but he wanted to get married only after half a year or so of knowing him. And then there's Richard. Who? I spent almost 4 years with him. We got along pretty well. We had awesome chemistry. I truly loved him. But as time went by, there was a rift that started separating us. He just didn't like my family. He didn't? Oh no, Don Toretto wouldn't be with that. Moreover, he wasn't a family person. He distanced himself from his own and voiced that he didn't want kids. There was a part of me that wanted to believe, even if just for a little bit, that maybe he had changed his mind. But as much as I loved him, that one detail brought a growing gap between us. And at one point, I just had to break up with him. But I'm not here to depress you. Bring me a beer, will you? Alright. Now, the second story is a bit on an indirect relatable content for me. The second story with the marriage within 6 months, not really knowing anyone. Now, fun fact. I have never had a relationship that went further than a year. One that got really close. But even with that, I was with someone. We were both fairly on the younger end. Yeah, we're both on the younger end. There was a lot of lessons learned from it, and this kind of gonna mesh like the second and third story together, I guess, because that is my longest relationship. But they were really great people, and goodness, their smile was as radiant as the moon, and I had a nickname that was based off the moon for them. This person is a kind person, and I still support everything that they do. Just one day, when things were too stressful for them, and a lash of their frustration or whatever reason, I mean, reading further into it, their feelings for me left way before then. But they broke it off with me. And I was a bit at a loss. It helped begin a lesson that became very important to me. And that lesson, for me, and it may not go for everyone, but for me it was, it doesn't matter if you do everything right, or if you're open, communicative, if you felt like everything was going well, there's no reason or excuse. The relationship is still a two-way street. Even if you do everything right, relationships can still end abruptly. There could be a small thing about you that just isn't for them. There could be nothing wrong with you. They just don't want to be with you. There's no excuse. There's no need to have an excuse for an end. It can happen. And honestly, that can break somebody. Because that was like my first real relationship. But I didn't mean to put any weight on y'all. Let's get her this beer. Thanks for telling me that, by the way. Don't mention it. Okay, one more question then we're even. Wow, you really are embarrassed of that vlog, huh? Sure, ask away. At what age did you get those implants in your boobs? Jill, I love you and I know you're saying that in jest, but I've lived through so many rumors about me getting plastic surgery that I can't and won't take it as a joke. As such, and honoring our friendship, I'll just say this. They're real and they're spectacular. Now ask the real question before I slap you. I'll grant you one, and only one chance to call me by my full name as a compensation. Then, I'll gladly take your offer. It's funny that you mentioned slapping because my real question was, why did you get your hands chopped? Chopped. Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first is that I spend lots of time typing, and these replacements help me avoid carpal tunnel syndrome. That is completely understandable. Oh. There's other utilities, like how I can interface with many devices. For example, there's a tiny computer embedded in my glasses. If I move my index finger, it acts like the computer's cursor. There's lots more, but they're small things that don't sound that impressive when I say it out loud. How did your family take the operation? They took it well enough, except for my mom. She freaked out for months. She even went to the hospital to ask for my hands. Don't you miss them? Sometimes, but just during emotional moments. But as luck would have it, someone else has them. Shortly before my operation, there was an accident on the highway. One of the victims was this young lady whose right hand got completely crushed. I told him to check if we were compatible and all that. I mean, implants are not everyone's first choice if they can get a natural replacement. A bit of cosmetic treatment and could pass off as her original hand with no problem. Last I heard, we were compatible and the family agreed to the donation. I don't know what became of her, but I hope she's fine. And you didn't tell your mom about that? Alright, it's almost that time. I didn't want her pestering the poor girl. So, are we cool now? Are we even now? Are we? You were pretty pissed about my comment regarding your boobs. Again, I'm sorry. It sounded a lot less rude in my head. Yeah, don't worry about that. Besides, I get to call you Julianne once. Now you don't. Eh? Why? You just call me by my full name. Are you serious? One chance and only one chance, and you just used it up. Damn it. Surprise! Hey Alma, this might be a weird tangent, but do you believe in ghosts? Hey! Not particularly, no. Although, what's this paper I read once that was quite interesting, It proposed a scenario where nanomachine clusters would leave the body after death, and then acted as a collective hive mind through residual brainwaves. The result would basically be an image unlike a hologram, Of course, the hypothesis fell through because such nanometric density is impossible in a body. Even 5% of the amount needed is enough to make the blood too dense for the heart. And it's not like the brain waves are potent enough to create those reactions. Still an interesting read, though. I see. Don't give me that look. It's not my fault that you convinced yourself that you're crazy. Well, I'll leave then. See you tomorrow. See ya. All done? I am. What about you, Gil? For some reason, the idol girl left him like that, it seems. You think? You think? Might have been while he was out. True. Hey, boss, you're a fan of wrestling, aren't you? I mean, you were a wrestler, so... Yeah, why? I was wondering. Isn't wrestling fake? Relatable content. I have this conversation, not at all, but when talking with my family, and they talk about how fake wrestling is, I asked them, hey, take a bump. Fall on the floor. Do a dive. Get slammed by somebody. Come back with me and tell me when that it's fake. Please. Aren't twin tails for little girls and teens with 8th grade syndrome? 8th grade what? When you get down to it, wrestling is as real as a soap opera. I mean, you don't really expect a legal lawsuit to be fixed in a ring, right? Sure, in my ideal world, you would solve legal problems through good old wrestling, but... No, seriously, 8th grade what? Yeah, but you don't go around calling soap operas fake. It's a show. Just so happens to use fights as an expression. You might as well see it as a unique form of theater. Besides, considering the injuries many wrestlers suffer, it's not all fake. Huh, I didn't think about it that way. And Miss Donna Zane, everybody. Hitting the nail on the head. Sadly, I won't stand for anyone bad-mouthing wrestling. So now I have to go and break Gil's back to make you humble. Wait, break Gil's back? Oh well, wait. Come here, fuckboy! Fuckboy! 8th grade, what? Oh, it was a perfect run. Yes, I have enough for rent. Who would have thought we'd get a bona fide idol in a bar? You were charged with $10,000 for your rent. Have a nice day. Jill will have a roof on her head for another month. This sense of relief will make sure she focuses at work. We have a roof over our heads for another month. Yay! Meow, 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 meow. Now I'm checking to see if check-ins. Attorney check-in. Okay, I just put down that I'm checking in for the tournament. So I'm gonna be switching games over real soon, but I'm trying to read this as quick as I can and give you guys a good leaving rights. If you guys want to stick around for the tournament, I will be turning off the stream and turning it back on, and you guys may be able to see me get my ass kicked in Blaze Blue Central Fiction. With that in mind, let's try to read this up. Grand Slam Fighters crowned a new heavyweight champion by Lana Smith. Glitch City's most popular pro wrestling promotion crowned a new heavyweight champion today. The Giant Yusuke taking the gold from fellow Japanese wrestler Justin Liger. I almost said Jushin Liger. After previous champion 6'6" American Kid was forced to relinquish the title due to a head injury, GSF decided to hold a tournament to find a new title award holder. The epic match ended after an epic 30-minute bout, with Giant Yusuke applying a massive German suplex for the 3 count. During an interview with AE, Giant Yusuke told us through a translator that he's waiting for the 6'6" American Kid to recover. I won't rest until I beat him clean. So exciting. If only I understood what was going on. After the Great Earthquake, salvage agents are the new rage. The Great Earthquake that sank large portions of the world 5 years ago also created an unexpected new profession, salvage agents. Samaraki is one of these salvagers, and she shares her experience with Augmented Eye. Seeing big cities like Tokyo and places like Caracas several kilometers below the ocean surface, that's something that gets to you, you know? Millions lived there before the Great Earthquake, and it's on me to retrieve their memories, their lives. Aki's is working to retrieve items from a research facility in the Tanegashima island of Japan. And Australia? Australia is a tad more complicated than that. New Lilim regulations. The current regulations preventing Lilim from looking too human have been working well so far, but Glitch City's government is planning to create even more laws so as to enforce robot features among the Lilim in a bid to reduce identity theft. Glitch City, the first nation to adopt the current standard in artificial intelligence and robotics, was the first to allow robots into normal society, quickly giving them necessary rights as to sustain the long-term experiment about their role in human evolution. Unfortunately, the first year saw numerous reports of identity theft, resulting in the need for more stringent measures. It is unknown what kind of laws we'll have in the future regarding their existence. But people look more robot-like by the day, too. And Akira Miki block. She did the Dream Person, she did the Mega Christmas, or past Mega Christmas, so I read Mega Christmas. Hey, she mentioned Valhalla. I don't know if I want the bar to suddenly become a fan tourism hotspot. Valhalla. The name sounds silly and a bit hard to pronounce. Good thing it's actually called Valhalla. The funny numbers and letters are just a code. Anyway, I visited this cute small downtown bar twice after getting lost for a bit. I think the area was called Neon District. At first I thought it was a bit scary because I forgot my way back, but once I got in there I felt really safe and at home. The bartenders are a bunch of sweethearts and the boss was such a class act. I even took a photo of her and sent the video to her little sister. I look forward to visiting again. The drinks were very tasty even though they weren't made of real alcohol. Thank you, Mickey. There was a brief moment where, I guess, in theory, it could have sounded like you could have heard my heart break, but no. It's nice to hear, it's nice to see. If it isn't obvious, I'm a very big fan of Karamiki. Oh. With that aside, that said, that in mind, since the tournament is literally happening in an hour and I thought I'd finish this shift within an hour, the rush job is done. It's over with. We're going to cut it off here. I'm going to do a quick raid. So to y'all that are here, if you do want to stick around and check me out and have a good old fashioned time for this tournament run, then I got you, homie. I'll do that for you. Just come right back around. But at the same time, as far as somebody that I can recommend y'all to, there was actually someone that was also planning on doing like a special stream. So, with that said, that in mind, I'm going to slide you guys over once again to Nebby999. I feel like this is starting to become a slightly regular thing. I don't mean for it to. But she's another intergalactic lass that I do enjoy. With that said in mind, we're gonna be back. We're gonna run some BlazBlue Central Fiction. Or they are doing a BRB. I'm not sure if they're ending the stream or if they're continuing the stream. I'm confused. You know what? Fuck it, we're doing an audible. So, in terms of an audible, there is a recent VTuber that's come out. Like, just recently had his release and everything, and he's trying out the Left 4 Dead sequel, Back 4 Blood. I'm sending y'all over to him. If anybody does want to stick around for the fighting game tournament, feel free to come right back. Feel free to have both our windows open. Show us some go love, and that in mind, this is Karakamio signing off. And remember, you're always welcome back here for another verse. Go out there and shine like the star that you are. Sayonara 2, Oyasumi 1.
We'll stand together, you'll be next to us. We'll fight for the best you. So how big was this victory? Or how big was the loss? Or did you sacrifice something that was the globe, don't face me. Move at the speed of light, don't chase me. I'm so out of this world, can't trace me. They'll yell Kiraku, can't replace me. No matter if it's dead or alive, I'll keep the dream on with the burning inside. See the flames in my kicks when I'm spinning your mind. With the rhymes on the line when we find better times when we online and in the star cipher. All my stars are going with mad hyper, cause they be moving, the party's grooving, and we won't stop cause you said so. And now your head straight out and it's official. She 10, she vibes and your mental. It's running in the 90s, no initial. Versatile is the style when I get to. And no, you're always welcome for another verse. Anytime, don't worry, it's fine. Kindness can be so divine. We use it to help others shine. So stand by me if you're feeling the love, or stand aside if you're feeling above. Just know the sun will never go down. Just around, let the nails and you stars to town.